I broke it down into three key areas. So the first was engagement and awareness, the second based on customer care, and the third based on lead generation. So a lot of brands focus on engagement and awareness as the primary proof point for return on investment for social media, and because of the lack of sort of discernible or clearly discernible metrics between the communication process and the sales process, we often regard likes, video views, followers, etc. to be verifiable metrics in terms of investments. And the problem is that these are really vanity metrics in most cases, and they don't really speak to the strategy of the brand as a whole, or the sales strategy of the business. So from an awareness perspective, I think it's important to maintain that social media is actually just a conduit for content that ultimately should send people down some sorts of sales funnel, and that's when I get into lead generation. So lead generation can be top level in terms of using social media to prospect for people who might be interested in buying a car, for example. It could be sending someone to a lead generation form on a blog, whereby they opt into download content like an infographic that is useful and valuable to them, and in doing so share their email address and their number with the sales team or an agency. And I think it's important to note that this isn't necessarily direct aggressive marketing. This is opt-in marketing based on the value of content, and actually content that is helpful. So there's that element as well. And then there's social selling, whereby you actually engage with a sales team member or a thought leader within the business to arm them with content and research, so that they can begin creating relationships online with prospective sales leads. And I think it's important to note that, I mean, being highly focused on verticals and regions is critical, because, I mean, the content you're arming them with needs to be suited to the pain points of that particular customer. And then the final and quite a short one is customer care. So a lot of brands, particularly big ones, telcos, banking groups as well, should and can regard customer care as a verifiable return on investment. But I think it's important to note that there's two types. There's top level customer care, where you engage with an RA customer and send them off to an email address or something, where they have to duplicate their complaint and send it off into the ether effectively, which just aggravates them more. Or there's actually tying in the entire customer care or complaints resolution process into social, like an Afro host, for example, who will actually resolve your entire complaint via DM, and you don't have to do anything. So obviously there's considerations from a compliance and legal perspective. FICA makes it very difficult for telcos and banking groups to do that, but it's a great way of looking at how customer care can add value to a business, because if customers happy, they spend money.